Welcome to New Apple Arcade Games Episode 9. This time we are taking a look at 4 new releases on the service, and at the end of the video I'll showcase 3 upcoming games, latest updates on the development I guess, and also I'm going to be talking about heaps of current games software updates. Number 1, we have Crossy Road Castle. Originally teased last October, Hipster Whale's new multiplayer platformer is now available exclusively on Apple Arcade. It's an endless spinning tower of chaotic arcade fun. Each level plays out differently, with secrets to find, different enemies and bosses to battle, and different ways to traverse the environments. You can connect up to 4 players on a single Apple device with game controllers, or connect together across multiple devices through local Wi-Fi. I hope the devs consider adding online matchmaking in the future. I think that would be a really welcomed addition to the game. Clara Reeves, president at Hipster Whale, recently said this about the game, and I quote, "Crossy Road Castle is bringing the much-loved characters from Crossy Road to a whole new game for the first time, so we're really thrilled to be launching it on Apple Arcade today. We wanted to make something that was suited specifically to the Apple Arcade platform, but also incorporated co-op fun at its core." Number 2 is CHARRUA Soccer, I think that's how you say it. Here is a new casual retro style soccer game brought to you by Batovi Games Studio. You can either play against the CPU or a friend on the same device, and you can go into tournaments and try to win the cup. I found the game plays incredibly well. The player movement is smooth and responsive, and a little bit funny too. It was also great to play on my Apple TV with a controller in hand. I'd like the game to see some more content in the future. Perhaps a campaign mode or an online PvP would be a welcomed addition. I asked the developer what was the inspiration behind your game, and they replied saying, "We set out to develop a soccer game with a lot of action and adrenaline, which moves away from the realistic simulation and keeps the funniest part of the genre. With aesthetics that both adults and kids will enjoy, simple commands and the possibility of playing with or without assistance, it's a game that adapts to both the most casual players and those who are seeking a bigger challenge." Number 3, we have Secret Oops. Mixed Bag have brought their latest game to Apple Arcade. You may remember their prior games from Former 8, Waking Violet, or Detective Gallo. Secret Oops is an augmented reality puzzler, where you have to guide a stupid spy Charles through levels and obtain briefcases. As you do this, players will need to interact with the world remotely by disabling security systems. The game is designed for both AR and multiplayer. In fact, you can play with other players via local multiplayer in real time across iPhone, iPad, Apple TV, and Mac. It's super cool. You can also play without AR, so don't fret if you have a Mac or an Apple TV. That said, I found the game is significantly easier in the AR mode. There are 2 game worlds available right now, with more worlds on the way, and there are 35 levels for 1, 2, or 3 plus players to enjoy. Secret Oops is probably the most advanced AR game available for mobile right now, as it uses the latest advances in augmented reality technology. You can even print out an optional AR marker for better positioning in multiplayer. Number 4 is Loud House, Outta Control. If you're a fan of the Loud House show on Nickelodeon, well, you're in for a real treat. Loud House Out of Control features iconic characters from the show. Players have to help these characters complete their objectives by selecting and drawing their path. For example, you must get Lincoln to his comic book, or you can get Lana to her mud pie before the time runs out. The gameplay is very similar to the classic App Store game Flight Control, where you assumed the role of an air traffic controller. Outta Control, on the other hand, brings you light character dialogue and a more family-friendly tone. It's honestly a really simple game and is built for casual gameplay. That said, it's hard. Managing all the characters and their paths can get overwhelming really quickly, so you have to stay focused. Some will love this, and some won't. The game is also easier to play on a touchscreen or with a mouse compared to using a controller. It can take too long to switch between characters before they collide if you're using a gamepad. That's what I've found anyway. Even if you're not familiar with the show, I'd still say you will have fun here. Okay, here are some bonus games. Part 2 update of platformer Way of the Turtle is finally here. This update brought a new volcano area to explore, 6 new levels, new items, and many new enemies. This update almost doubles the playtime. Towaga Among Shadows has just received its 3rd content update, which brings a brand new local multiplayer mode, the Light Clash. 2 to 4 players can play together and make the sky tremble in a series of intense fights. Please note, this mode can only be played with gamepads. Arcade racer Sonic Racing now has a casino park zone, and you can battle your way through 3 new tracks. Redout Space Assault added Chapter 8 missions, a new shiny spaceship, and customization options for your ship. HyperBrawl Tournament has just received its first major update, including a new hero, Sir Gallant, a new arena, Steelhenge, which is inspired by legendary Stonehenge in England. Recently, you may have seen a glimpse of this upcoming adventure platformer, Little Orpheus, and a Tyrannosaurus Rex chasing the hero. It was shown in Apple's new fancy Apple Arcade trailer. Not much is known about the game, apart from the Chinese room describing it as a pocket epic in glorious Technicolor. Little Orpheus is said to release sometime in 2020. If you follow Hironobu Sakaguchi or Mistwalker, hopefully I said those names right, I probably didn't, well, on Twitter, you'll regularly be treated to new videos and images of the real-life sets being used in their upcoming RPG game Fantasian. Here you can see some of the staff working on the sets. Here's a screenshot too, running on an iPhone. And here is some of the concept art. It all looks really cool and I'm super excited. Remember, these sets are made and then I believe they're scanned and used for actual gameplay, which is so cool. No release date has been revealed yet. Here is some new footage of the main protagonist walking around in the upcoming adventure game Beyond a Still Sky. And then here is also this kind of panning movement of the camera. I don't know, it's new footage. If you didn't know, Revolution Games delayed Beyond a Still Sky until 2020, so it's coming sometime soon. Launch info is also going to be coming really soon, so stay tuned to here, I guess.
Within this world, we have a system called virtual theatre, and it's this idea that characters are motivated by desires that are specific to them, and the gameplay comes from the player having to work out how to subvert the world. This is a project that Dave Gibbons and I have talked about for probably close to 20 years.
What do you think of these new Apple Arcade games, and also the updated ones and the upcoming releases? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Leave a like as it really helps out the channel. Subscribing and turning on notifications is a really good idea if you don't want to miss out on future Apple Arcade videos. Anyway, thanks for watching.